Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And good morning, everybody. Good late night, and welcome back again as we have another late night session, another late night chat. Because what? Because why? We have another late night commitment, and this one it's going to be from the class of 2023. A sophomore player this past season from El Campo. If you're not quite sure where El Campo is on the map, because your boy AK here had to look it up as well. El Campo, Texas is going to be southwest of Houston. Just about 80 miles southwest of Houston is what it looked like on the map for me. And if it looked for you, holla at your boy, as I'm committed to the cause. I'm committed to the playbook, as it is 12:15 here on a Thursday night, Friday morning, and holla at your boy, who is the only person on live stream talking football, talking college football, and talking your favorite team. It's your boy AK here with the Eyes on Texas channel. I do produce college football content pretty much every single day of the week for you guys. I do like to do college football content, high school football content. Obviously, I do these live streams for you, and I also like to do highlight videos. But let's get into Ruben Owens in the class of 2023 running back. And the new rankings just came out in the 247 Sports. And let's just start talking about Ruben Owens, exactly his stats and whatnot. He is going to be right at 6 foot tall, 187 pounds. So for a sophomore, that is pretty good size already. Pretty good compact weight to be 6 foot tall and 190 pounds. And he is part of a three-headed machine out there. His freshman season, as he broke out onto the scene, as he rushed for just over 815 yards. What was it exactly? 808 yards as a freshman. He had 8 touchdowns. As a freshman, he did back it up with a much more heavy workload, as he had 140 rushing attempts for 1,511 yards, 22 rushing TDs, and they actually did give him the ball out of the backfield as far as a pass catcher, as he did get 5 receptions for touchdowns for 5 receptions for 114 yards, and 1 reception TD. So obviously not going to be a dual threat type of running back. He's not going to be one that can go out in the slot and be a slot pass catcher for us. He's more of a bruising running back at this time at the weight of 190 pounds, or right at 190 pounds, as he is listed as 187. But those of you who watch the channel, those of you who watch the live streams, don't have much on this guy. Yeah, right. It is, Santiago, you are right. It is a really long time ago to talk about this guy being a class of 2023 guy. You don't know exactly what is going to happen with him. It is obviously not a solid set-in-stone commitment, as they do obviously have 2 more years of eligibility to go. But it's better than him committing to somewhere else, right? As we did talk about the other prime target that the Texas Longhorns have already did commit to the Texas A&M Aggies from the strong side defensive end, 4-star, 5-star. That's going to be in there. So better get him now than to get him later. But what is going to be strange to me, my estimation, talk about getting this running back, as we did get Jaden Blue in the class of 2022, and now we're getting Ruben Owens in the class of 23. And the reason, talking about running backs, in my estimation, why we did lose a commitment to LJ Johnson is because we didn't have the big fellas up front. But yet, this class of 22 and the class of 23, they don't seem to worry about it very much. That the running backs and the skill position players seem to be committing before the hog mollies. They seem to be committing before the offensive line guards and tackles, which does seem a bit strange to me, to be quite honest. I can understand the fact that we did get Malik Murphy, that we are getting this more interest from the wide receiver targets, i.e. we got Evan Stewart on board. We did get Armani Winfield into the fold in the class of 22 just before then. But holla at your boy. Very excited to get Ruben Owens here on the channel. See, the reason why I haven't spoken much about Ruben Owens at all, Victor, is because I've heard him be nothing but a hardcore Oklahoma lean. And the fact that he did commit this early isn't that surprising. Although he is a sophomore, and obviously anytime a sophomore does commit, it is a bit surprising. And that commitment is not the firmest by my estimation and by the estimations of most, due to the solid fact that they had 2 more years of playing high school football, and there's a lot more coaches, a lot more influence that can get into that way. But with this young man, he did seem to be saying that he was going to commit soon. I thought it was only Texas, the Oklahoma football the whole entire way, and that Texas really wasn't in the mix. As this young man was swaying hardcore Oklahoma. But what I did read, and maybe you and I read the same thing, is I did read that he wasn't gelling well with the running backs coach, DeMarco Murray. So DeMarco Murray, famous for his on the football field play, has yet to make an impact on this recruit. He did get Raylan Brown, the 5-star running back in the class of 22, just right around the same time that Texas Longhorns did, in fact, land a commitment from Jaden Blue. So Oklahoma is doing it. They are getting it done on the gridiron as far as getting running back. So it's just not Texas Longhorns that's succeeding in the class of 2022 and now succeeding in the class of 23. But I really don't know exactly how solid these class of 2023 commitments are. But like I did state earlier, it is better to get them than to not get them. You heard the same thing about Murray? Yeah, I guess his pitch to recruits obviously is going to be game experience. It's going to be his ability to relate to the young individual. He did just get done playing with the game, so he does have that familiarity with the game, and also being famous and far as being a NFL pro. Obviously is going to get your name in the door with his recruits. But we got to give it to our man. Coach Sark, the Sark attack. Look, I used to think there was some limits to this class of 2022. I really was hoping for a top 5 class. That's really, I think, that we really could hope for, as we have yet to see any product on the field. But he does seem to be getting done over the phone. He does seem to be getting it done over the computer. He's obviously a very smart and influential person. Lots of negative recruiting going about Coach Sark. They're obviously going to bring up the fact that he used to drink. Going to bring up the fact that he was showing up to campus drunk and all of those negative stuff. But he obviously has the ammo. He obviously has the combatant, and he obviously has the wherewithal to turn that negative recruiting into positive, because he is slamming it with our 7th commit in the 2000. Oh no, sorry. This is the 2023 class. So this is the first in the 2023 class, which has given us a top 5 as of this moment, and the first in the 2023. So the class of 2022, we're straight killing it, getting 6 commitments, and the class of 23, we're getting 1. But he is the top running back as far as I do believe in the class of 23, as he is ranked the number 25th overall player. Oh, that was the wrong button now, sir. He is ranked the number overall 2 running back and the number 1 overall running back in Texas. But of course, obviously, this is kind of sort of subject to change due to the fact this is the class of 2023 guys, and he obviously has 2 more years of football. So there are going to be guys that will be added to the list and dropped from this list. But since this freshman year, he recorded 800 yards, so already getting production as a freshman. I do know that he was part of a tandem, a part of a trio his freshman year. He obviously got the ball a lot more his sophomore campaign, as I did say that he got it for 140 times for 1,511 yards. And, of course, I do believe he scored 22 touchdowns, 5 receptions for just over 100 yards, and he did pick up that 1 reception TD. So as far as a running back is concerned, this is going to be the big get for the class of 23. Now it's just going to be whenever the time comes, someone to pair up with him. But in addition to Ruben Owens, I did look up something here for us. I did look up some crystal balls for Texas as of recently, and trending towards Texas, as many of you already do know. I know that this is going to be mainly about the running back in the class of 23 here, but Bryce Anderson, the safety, is trending towards the University of Texas. This new crystal ball was just put in just the other day with a sixth strength there on the commitment. So Bryce Anderson in the class of 22 trending towards the University of Texas Longhorns. I did make that video on one of my personal favorite guys in this class, as he's one of the guys I did look at and did gain interest to whenever Texas did first offer him whenever I started out the show way back in last March, so 11 months ago. And that's going to be LTG, Larry Turner Gooden. As I did whenever I did make my video just yesterday, I did give it a 65-35 lean towards the Sun Devils, and the crystal balls, they are kind of sort of representing that. They're kind of sort of showing the same thing as well. If you don't know anything about Larry Turner Gooden, he is going to be an athlete prospect from Playa del Rey, California. He's going to be 6 foot tall, right at 180 pounds. He's a tough kid, man. Plays wide receiver out there, but he is pressed to be a safety in the collegiate level. Can play some slot corner, kind of sort of that nickel kind of sort of position, that bigger kind of sort of position. Gonna be a majority a deep line safety, and he does provide some return game as well. So Larry Turner Gooden, man, if he does in fact commit to the Sun Devils, he is going to commit on his mother's birthday, so there's an absolute going to be a great gift to her. Trending towards the Sun Devils. On the defensive tackle position, Chris Ross has crystal balled to the University of Texas. The 6'2", 6'3", 270-pound defensive tackle from North Shore. Gators in Texas interest, as he is set to commit in just a couple of weeks. But does anybody have any questions? Victor Santiago, if anybody in here is a subscriber, if you've not yet subscribed to channels, I would very much appreciate that, because I do try to produce content for you guys pretty much every single day of the week. On Monday, you think we're getting another commit? I think it's probably going to be either Connor Robertson, another player that's been crystal balled to Texas, the guard prospect, the 3-star guard prospect from the class of 22, from the 2-time defending state champions, Austin Westlake. And maybe Bryce Anderson probably could be a commit down the pike as well. DJ Campbell said that he is going to commit later on during the summer. He does want to make some visits, so I'm not quite sure about him. Maybe it's one of the offensive linemen. Maybe it's Cam Dewberry. Maybe it's one of those guys. But I think it's probably going to be one of the safeties. Yeah. But very excited about Reuben Owens, as I do believe that he is going to be the top get in the state in the class of 23 for the running back position. Brian Allen committing the other safety prospect, right? From that's the guy from Alito. Yeah, but I do from Beaumont and Westbrook. Bryce Anderson was the guy that I was talking about. He's rated the number 5 safety in the class of 22. The pretty high star the high 4-star, as he's nationally ranked 57th in the nation in Texas. Well, I'm showing one issue, but as I click on that, let's see when that one was put in. I just clicked on LSU. I did not look at that. Limitations on this class as far as where we're going to be as far as 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's going to be hard to beat the top 3, right? Obviously, you're going to know that the University of Alabama, they're going to slam dunk it off that national championship straight rolling. I don't even know the last time the Crimson Tide was even out of the top 5 as far as recruiting. Obviously, the Buckeyes, Ohio State, they're going to slam it as they always finish very strong. And obviously, the Clemson Tigers. So cracking that top 4 is basically going to be virtually impossible. But hey, we got the Sark Attack, man, and we got the Mo. It is absolutely ridiculous. We're getting these recruits right and left, and I'm very excited that we're getting them right and with the left. I really thought there'd be quite a bit more few people in here. There's only 10 of y'all in. I really thought that this would gain a little bit more interest. I'm a little surprised with that, to be quite honest with you. I do know I did just let y'all know right about an hour and a half before that I was going to do this. I do know that it is 12:30 in the a.m., man. I appreciate your hardcore Texas Longhorns fans. Appreciate y'all being here with me. I agree with y'all. I do believe that the commitments are going to start rolling. Are going to continue to roll. I would like to see some of the offensive linemen. I would like to see Ernest Green, the guard prospect from California. Hopefully, we can continue with the out-of-state prospects and continue that pipeline to the California connection as we do start to reap those benefits. Also want to see what else we can get from the Pacific Northwest, man. Want to see what we can get maybe from the Washington area, as Coach PK has been there in the defensive side of the ball for lots of time. So I want to know what potentially we get from that area. Coach Flood is absolutely not scared to go after anybody anywhere, as he offers up class of 23 guys. He offers them in-state, out-of-state. Coach Kyle Flood is absolutely not scared as well. As we're getting into these recruits, we're getting into them early and we're getting into them often, and that was probably the worst thing that we had going for us as far as the last coaching staff is they went with the recruiting strategy as let's just wait to offer them to let the shine and the prestige of the University of Texas really get into their minds before we offer them. And really all it was doing was just pissing them off, the fact that they weren't getting the offer that they wanted and getting more time and more opportunity for other schools with their great recruiters to tell them about their programs. And thus, Texas was missing out on lots of recruits, man. So this coaching staff, Sark Attack, all gas, no brakes, is absolutely not afraid to unleash the offers, man. And that is something awesome that I love to see from this staff. But he's committing on his birthday, which that's very cool, man. I do know that Chris Ross is expected to commit here on the middle of March. So I don't know if that's any kind of sort of special day, but I do know that we were trending very hard towards him just a couple of weeks ago. He was about to pop. I really thought that he was about to make that commitment, but he did decide to wait about 5 to 6 weeks, and he is going to make it in the middle of March. But to continue on the offensive line, I do believe Connor Robertson, again, as I did say earlier, the guard prospect, 3-star guard prospect from Austin Westlake Hills is probably going to be the next offensive lineman to commit by my estimation. But what did y'all think whenever you first heard that Ruben Owens had committed? Because he was someone that I didn't even think that Texas really had a shot of. I do hear that Victor, he said earlier that he did hear that he was trending just recently towards Texas, but his whole entire time he was all about the Oklahoma, as far as I heard. I guess it really was the running back coach, DeMarco Murray, really couldn't seal the deal with that recruit, and that he really wasn't meshing with him very well, really wasn't vibing with him, and thus lost his interest, and his ears obviously opened up. He started listening to what the University of Texas coaching staff had to offer, and I'm a bit surprised with this, to be honest with you. What about y'all in the comment section? Y'all a bit surprised with these commitments before any product is actually on the field? Because I thought that we would get some commitments from some top-rated wide receivers. I thought that we would probably have a very, very good wide receiver class. Now I'm pretty well convinced that we're going to have the best wide receiver class in the nation. But as far as a top 5 class now, I'm pretty much well convinced that we are going to have at least a top 10, if not a top 5, in the class of 22, as the momentum is surely rising. And it's not only that, it's the type of recruits that we got. Jaden Blue is down. He even trended up. He even posted up that we're getting another one today, and boom, another running back. And which is also interesting to me that we're getting these running backs, big time running backs in the class of 22, the class of 23. As Jaden Blue is a top running back, just recently voted in the composite in the 247 Sports, the number 1 running back in that composite, and that is the composite that I do follow the most here as far as best RB room in college football. What's up, Big Hulk? That is the recruiting site that I do follow. It is going to be 247 Sports. But I did allude earlier that at El Campo, Ruben Owens is used to sharing the rock. Obviously, Jaden Blue being the star standout from Klein in the Houston area, he does get the more dominant carries. But maybe this is what Texas is pitching. They are pitching the fact that they are going to be toting the note a lot more, and they are going to be distributing the carries just a little bit more. Because if you get these guys, these top-rated guys, they are expected to get the ball early, and they are expected to get the ball often. But as you do or not know, that Coach Sark, every single year that he has been an offensive coordinator or a head coach, he has had a 1,000-yard rusher every single year. I'll repeat there. As an OC or a head coach, Coach Sark, his football team has had a 1,000-yard back every single year. So that does lead me that does allude me to think that we are going to continue with 1,000-yard rushers, and then having more of a lead dog, and then more of a distributing of the line. We did get Travell Johnson, a linebacker, a 3-star linebacker in the class of 22. As far as on the defensive line, as far as on the defensive side of the ball. If you don't know anything about him, he's going to be from Arlington Martin. He's going to be a bit undersized, and that's why he is going to be on the 3-star level. He is a sideline player, which we obviously going to need in the Big 12, as we do throw the pill around a lot in the Big 12. So you're going to need that sideline linebacker rather than that thumping linebacker. But obviously, if you are playing linebacker, you're obviously going to still have to fill out the duties of a linebacker, and thus you're still going to have to take on those lead blockers sometimes, and you are going to have to do the dirty work and the grunt work. And that's going to be the reason why he is going to be a 3-star instead of a 4-star. Man, you're talking about JM. I guess you're talking about Harold Perkins. Man, I thought that he was trolling us, to be quite honest with you, as far as whenever I first did see his stuff on Instagram and Twitter, as far as him hitting back, tagging coaches and other players. But man, now I think it's real. Now I think the smoke is real with him. I did read that the line of communication has picked up. And at first, I thought he was straight trolling us. I thought he was trolling us like I still do believe that Bobby Taylor is. Yeah. Harold Perkins, I think it's real. And the thing about Perkins is, if you don't know who we're talking about, he's a 5-star linebacker in the class of 22. There's not many linebackers that do get to that 5-star level. So the fact that he is a linebacker that is 5-star, he is definitely going to be the top get in the state on the defensive side of the ball from the linebacking position, if not in the nation. So that fact that he is making the headwind, and from a defensive side of the ball, maybe we can start getting that momentum. As far as offensive line, I didn't talk about this earlier. I do believe Connor Robertson is probably going to be our next commit or our first commit on the offensive line in the class of 2022. Of course, we didn't know anything about him. He's going to be the 6'4", 275-pound, 280-pound guard from Austin Westlake, two-time defending champs out there. But there is 12 of y'all in here right now, so that means that we do got some new blood on here, which I do appreciate. If you don't know who I am, my name is A.K. Alistair King. I am the owner, operator, moderator, whatever. I do everything here in the Eyes on Texas channel, man. So if you would, please give me a thumbs up. And straight up, I'm here for you at 1:30 in the morning Central Time in the great US of A. So if you do, give me a thumbs up on this live stream right now. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead now, as I do drop Texas live streams, as I like to do college football and Texas high school football. So I very much appreciate that, as I do now bump up to 5s. I appreciate that. But Harold Perkins, I do think the smoke is real there. I thought he was trolling us at first. I thought he was hardcore A&M commit. And I said this on my last live stream, and I'll say it again. And I don't go around disrespecting other universities. I like to keep it wholesome, you know what I mean? I do believe that the rising tide floats all boats. If you do think about our state rivals, is their rosters are littered with what? Texas kids, with the Sons of Texas. So I'm not one that bashes on other universities. But I will say this about the Texas A&M Aggies coming off of their best season in 80 years. They thought that they would be straight smoking us in the recruiting trail in the class of 2022. And in 21, they definitely have the stronger class, I will say. And especially on the offensive line, as they boasted several 4-star offensive linemen. And we only had 3-star offensive linemen. But riding in off the coattails, the best season they've had in over 80 years, with Texas coming off a transition season, with Texas wet in the bed, looking very bad in their first couple of games, which they should have won handily, and had to come back against Tech. Really struggled and lost against TCU. Lost again in the goal line stretch against OU. Really thought that they would really be outperforming us again with a transition coaching staff. And now that Texas is outperforming them in the class of 2022 recruiting cycle, to me, now gives me the fact that this coaching staff really does have some quote-unquote rainmakers, and as far as recruiters are concerned, and we really can make it rain, and we really can make it happen. And I thought we were going to have to put some more product on the field as far as 22 is concerned. And we do still need to hold on to these recruits. That is 100%. We can't go out and crap the bed in the next season. But I do believe that Coach Sark and his all-star cast of recruiters and his all-star cast of coaches, because Coach PK in his defensive scheme on the West Coast, if you paid attention to any kind of sort of Pac-12 ball, I know they don't play a lot of defense out there, but he was known for being having the best defense year in and year out on that side of the ball on the West Coast in the Pac-12. So I'm very excited about that. But what's Dre talking about? What did I miss? I just got off work. What up, Dre? Horns up to you, man. The main thing that you did miss is we did get a commitment from the class of 2023, Ruben Owens. He is going to be a 5-star running back by my estimation by 247 Sports. He's going to be from El Campo, Texas. He has his freshman season. He made production as he had 8 touchdowns. He had 808 yards as far as rushing it on the ground. He did bump up his production, his workload much more his sophomore season, because he had 140 carries for 1,511 yards, 22 touchdowns. He did get 5 receptions for 1 touchdown, and he had just over 111 yards receiving, man. So that's basically him as a recruit. He is 5'11", right at 185, 190 pounds. That is a big, thick guy for a running back if you do think about it. And let's just read about his what is read about him. So the scouting report by Gabe Brooks is Owens is a risque high major running back frame. He looks taller than his actual listed size, but has a frame that will likely allow for growth in coming years. Has produced solid numbers while sharing the carries in a run-heavy offense as a freshman. Functional top-end speed to hit long-end ball. Flashes impressive balance and tackle-breaking ability at the second level. Impressive foot quickness that allows him to string together moves in open field. Capable pass catcher out of the backfield. Runs a bit high at times, but can improve his pad level consistently. Looks like an elite running back prospect in the class of 2023. It says that kind of sort of some accolades for him. This past season, he was named the district that he is playing 12-4A offensive MVP, and he was newcomer of the year as a freshman, obviously in that same conference. And I straight up nutted his stats as he has 140 yards, 140 rushing attempts for 1,511 yards. 22 rushing. Yeah, I was right. 100% stats. So there's no reason me backing it up on that. So him as a prospect, he is the number 2 running back in the class of 23 and number 1 in the state, obviously. So yeah, as a recruit, he is a big-time major recruit. And you might be thinking about, yeah, this is a class of 23 guy, and yeah, this is real early, and yeah, you're right. This is one that was alluding to the fact that he was going to commit early throughout his recruiting process for whatever reason that was. I don't have an answer for you, but that is him as a recruit. Do you think we'll ever play A&M again, man? I mean, eventually, yeah. I think what's going to have to happen is maybe in a bowl game. You know, I don't think it's going to be in a playoff game. But if you would answer me this question, just to make sure that I am correct, you do have to, if you're not in a playoff. So obviously, if you're the 1 seed and you play the 4 and the 2 plays the 3, you play who you play. But if in the Alamo Bowl, for example, you can say no, correct? So if you know who your opponent is, you can say no. Is that correct? I do believe that is. You do have to accept your bowl bid is what I'm trying to tell you. So outside of a bowl game, I think it's going to be a long time. Whole lots of BS, whole lot of politics, whole lot of money, whole lot of dick measuring, you know what I mean? You know, just a big pissing contest in my estimation. Both sides believe are hurt, so as far as Texas and Texas A&M playing again, I think outside of a scheduled demanded playoff system, and I don't think A&M is going to get past Alabama anytime soon. And Texas is a few years away, even with the Sark attack and all the momentum that we're going. So I'm going to say it's going to be a number of years before cooler and better heads prevail and allow Texas and A&M to play each other. But man, it would be awesome, though. It really would be awesome. Drayden, I just got off work too, buddy. Just to let you know, man. Just to let you know. But what other questions that you guys got as far as class of 22 guys, class of 23 guys, any football related questions? I will just let you know as far as some crystal balls that we did just recently get. So the ones that are going to be in favor of Texas, obviously Brian Allen Jr. He is going to be the safety prospect, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. He's from Alito. He's going to be a 4-star. He had number 58 rated from the state champions from Alito High School, trending towards Texas. Of course, as we did talk about earlier, we did have the other safety trending towards the University of Texas as well. Yeah, so Brian Allen trending towards the University of Texas. Someone that I was looking towards, towards getting in the class of 22, and this is going to be tight end Holden Stays, 6 foot. Has been crystal balled to the University of Notre Dame by quite a few folks. That was a candidate that I was looking forward to getting as well. But if you want to talk about new recruits in the class of 2022, we did offer another. I just don't forget his name. He is a 2022. He's listed as a tight end hybrid, a flex tight end type in the class of 22. Of course, I talk about him and I can't remember his dang name. He's listed as an athlete. I don't have a lot of hair. I think his hair just got crystal ball. But did recently just get crystal ball. Ish Harris, the safety athlete prospect, pilot point, 6'4", right at 190 pounds. He is going to be an interesting prospect. He is listed as a safety, but I do project him playing just a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. I do see his body filling out just a little bit more. I do see him just getting just above 200 pounds just before he's finished with his time over there at pilot point. But as an athlete prospect, he is a right on the fringe 4-star, 3-star right now. I believe he will rise once that frame does get filled out and once he is able to make more of an impact right near the line of scrimmage, making bigger plays for his team, without a doubt. So what questions you guys have for me right now? There's 25 of y'all in here right now. That's what I'm talking about. 12:51 in the afternoon. In the evening, if you don't know who I am, I'm AK. If you please drop a like and subscribe. As man, I am right near 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 903 just before I started this live stream. And in case you don't know about YouTube, the magic number for us, of course, is 1,000. And I'm right there. Just a couple weeks away. I already have the minutes, man. So I just need subscribers. So please help me out because I'm here for you at midnight, past midnight on a Thursday, Friday morning. So holla at you, boy. I'm AK. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel, man. Because Texas A&M can't figure out how video works. Yeah. Do you believe the Longhorn is the culprit for the Big 12 split? I don't know. I believe part of the culprit. I just believe it's probably one of the many feathers in the cap. One of just the many things that did ultimately could contribute to it. And I do know that the cooler heads did never prevail. I do believe that A&M was tired of being considered little brother, whether they'd want to admit it and not. As far as that is one thing that they could hold over the University of Texas is that we're part of the SEC. The fact that now whenever it's so silly. So now whenever a player commits to Texas, they always say that he's not SEC worthy, that he wasn't a SEC running back or whatnot. That's what we're talking about, Speedy German. We are talking about Allen possibly committing on Monday as well. The safety product from Alito, the 4-star safety, without a doubt. Probably going to be our next commit to get the momentum rolling, as he would be our second person on the defensive side of the ball, as we did get Travell Johnson from Arlington Martin, as he's going to be a little bit of an undersized linebacker out there, but without a doubt, he plays sideline to sideline. And I'm going to say the difference between him and Terrence Cooks is going to be the fact that Terrence Cooks is just going to be a little bit bigger than him. I believe Terrence Cooks is going to be over the 6'2", in between 6'2" and 6'3" range, and he is above 200 pounds. And if you don't know, I'm talking about Terrence Cooks. He's going to be a signee in the class of 21 for the Texas Longhorns, coming out of Shadow Creek. Arliss Boardingham, is that the guy? No, is that the person that I was thinking about? Is he like an athlete? Isn't he listed as a wide receiver right now? Arliss Boardham, and we're just projecting him to be a split tight end. Is that the one that we just offered? Is that the one that I was trying to find, which failed miserably, obviously? Oh, Cooks is 220? Yeah, without a doubt. So, and Cooks can go sideline to sideline. And so that's basically going to be the difference between him and Harry Perkins is obviously is that he's got the build, he's got the body, as Harry Perkins is going to be over 6 foot tall. I believe Harry Perkins is 6'2", and he's over 200 pounds already as well. So that's going to be the difference between him and Travell Johnson. Is Travell Johnson, he can bring it. He's fast. He can go sideline to sideline. But as far as with the body already there and the size already there, Travell is going to be a smaller linebacking candidate. I like him as far as a candidate. Anybody that can move, anybody that can go sideline to sideline and make a play the ball can play for me. At least in today's day and age. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's the. He's from Georgia, I believe. He's out of state, but yeah, and that is what the position is trending towards being, right? But to me, that's a guy that we already have on our squad, on our team, especially in this class. I can, off the top of my head, I can definitely think of Gunnar Helm. He's going to be a flex tight end. I can definitely think of Juan Davis. They're projecting him to be a flex tight end. You can really give him the ball anywhere. At least that's what he did on Everman in Fort Worth. That's why I gave him the nickname the Everman, because he played literally every single position for his team out there in Fort Worth. And, of course, we have the 5-star stud, Jatavion Sanders from Denton Ryan, who I believe will grow into a defensive end, into a pass rusher, and really sharpen up those skills. But I believe that he at least wants to give tight end a shot. I do believe that he wants to play offense. And with the transfer portal being real, we all know the transfer portal is 100% real, and we want to keep all these recruits really happy. We're going to give a run at a split tight end. So the fact that we did offer this young man, Arliss Boardingham, who was listed as a wide receiver in the class of 22. I believe he's already 6'4", 222 pounds. He's a big kid already, so he's obviously probably going to project and grow into that and into that size. Plus, not to go into too deep, but we're talking about 2023 guys. One of the ones I'm very high up, another chaparral from Austin Westlake, and that's going to be Jaden Greathouse. He's 6'2", already over 200 pounds. Was a freshman All-America, has been balling, been playing big-time ball, big-time snaps in playoff games, and state championship games out there for Austin Westlake. So he's already been making big-time plays in the class of 23. So the flex tight end is something that we kind of sort of already covered pretty well in the class of 21. With already having Juan Davis, Gunnar Helm from Cherry Creek, Colorado, and I believe we're also going to give Jatavion Sanders a run. So, plus we do still have Epps as a split out tight end on the 40 this year. Owens needs to move down to outside linebacker. He's long and can add weight. Oh yeah. You're talking about Tyler Owens, the one who's already on our team, yeah. No, Arliss. Oh, okay. Sorry, he's not from Georgia. I was wrong. Turner Gooden is set to commit on the 26th, and I think he's going to go to Arizona State. I believe that we made a good, strong push, but I believe that he's going to go to Arizona State, Speed German. But it is going to be the 26th. Which is going to be his mother's birthday, which is very, very nice. You see the Arliss kid that's massive, man. You know what I mean? To be that tall, because I'm a grown man right at 175 pounds, sopping wet. So it's just crazy whenever you see these, you see these numbers, you see these kids that are class 22, sophomores, juniors. They're already 6'6", 6'4", 6'5". Like these offensive linemen, some are already 300 pounds, and you see pictures of these, some of these linebackers, these kids, you just wonder what kind of weeds they're eating. You know what I mean? Absolutely massive. These prospects just going to these specialized camps, these specialized weight room, these specialized diets, and they're just specialized athletes and specialized products. And how we're talking about the prospects being more NFL ready and coming from college to the NFL, obviously. It's just the same thing in high school to college. These high school athletes, these high school prospects, they're getting the weight training. They're getting the position training. They're getting on the field training. The high school coaches are better. They're more well paid and more educated. They're turning out and producing better prospects, and they're coming in more prepared to play. And it is unreal. But it's absolutely been fun this past year following these guys, following these prospects a little more closely. Always did have my eyes on the prize. Always loved football. Obviously, always been a lifelong Texas Longhorn fan and a lifelong football fan in general and a sports fan. Growing up, without a doubt, soccer was going to be my number one go-to, my number one passion. It was obviously the sport growing up that I was the best at as I played goalie. Who's our QB this year? Rick, our QB. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and our quarterback take in the class of 2022 has been Malik Murphy. He's going to be the talk about big giant quarterbacks and big giant athletes. He's going to be 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 220-pound pro style quarterback from Jupiter, California. Most of his production has going to be in the 7-on-7 and camp stuff. He's only had 100 passes, I believe, or 61 pass attempts. So as far as varsity helmet football, but his majority of this stuff is going to be 7-on-7 play and camp stuff, mainly due to the fact that he only has sophomore film, and he is a California kid, as I did state earlier, and they have not played high school ball this year. They have made plans to play, I believe, in March or April of this year, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to make it go. As far as who's going to be QB1 this year for the Texas Longhorns, actually on the 40, coming out of spring camp this past year and going into fall camp, I thought it was going to be. I thought Hudson Card was going to be the leader. Coming from Lake Travis, obviously producing major quarterbacks, multiple major quarterbacks, being a quarterback, high school without a doubt. I believe he had a step above there. I do know that Casey Thompson is going to be the incumbent and has been there many years. But the student of the game of card, and I believe that he was whenever he did come out in his year, the 2020 year. I thought he was the best quarterback in that class, and that class did have Bryce Young in it as well. But I thought he was the best one in there. And whenever he proved it on his Under Armour game that he was the best one, and I thought that it was going to be Hudson Card. But moving on to the Alamo Bowl, you just cannot you just can't discredit and you cannot disgruntle that performance that was done by Casey Thompson. Throwing the pill deep down the ball, driving the ball deep down the field, hitting his guys, pretty much while doing the things that Sam Ehlinger wasn't able to do throughout his 4 years on the 40 is what Casey Thompson put on display. So now I would give the edge to Casey Thompson, like a 65-35% edge to Casey Thompson. But the best man still will win. But I do believe Casey Thompson does have the bit of advantage. But he might have Mac Jones kind of sort of year. He might be the kind of guy who waited out his turn, plays 1 year and balls out of control, and gets up his draft stock and goes to the NFL. You never know. Or he could get beat out this year by Hudson Card and transfer out. You never know. a lot of crystal balls prediction in front of for Allen today. Yep, the safety from Alito, Texas is probably going to be one on the next two commit list as far as I'm concerned, and also Connor Robinson, the 3-star guard from Austin Westlake. I would have to agree. So Rickanolia, does that answer your question? But first of all, man, I really haven't said horns up to everybody yet, which I very much apologize for you. So Victor Santiago, horns up to you, sir. JM1790 you, sir. Horns up to you, sir. Of course, Big Hulk 24, seen you multiple times in here. Horns up to you, sir. If you've not said horns up or said anything in the chat room, why don't you just say your name and I will say horns up to you. Dre Taplin, if you're still in here, what's up, man? Horns up to you. Ricken, horns up to you, sir. Speedy German, always been seeing you for the longest time, man. Appreciate that. Michael Betts, horns up to you, sir, without a doubt. Noah, what's up, man? Appreciate everybody up in here on the now Friday morning, late Thursday night. As we did have another late commitment, so I did another late night chat. I did another late night live stream for you guys. As I do love this, man. I do like the fact that I love talking college football, and I love the fact that we do get this much feedback in for you guys. So I very much appreciate the fact that y'all are here for me, I'm here for you, so vice versa. You want Texas to slow play the offensive lineman from Westlake? I don't think Texas is from an offensive lineman position. Now, if this was a wide receiver, or if this was now a quarterback, or if this was I think we're pretty strong on a defensive end. I might consider slow playing, but I don't think we're in any kind of sort of position to slow play on an offensive line candidate. So, and I know what you're kind of sort of hitting at, and you're going at, just to see that he might not be a take, that we can get better ones down the line, that we might get a bigger and better prospects down the line, slow playing them now. But as far as Texas only getting 2 offensive linemen in the last year's class, and both of those offensive linemen were 3-star prospects, I don't think we're in any kind of position to slow play offensive linemen. And plus, a lot of people think that we got a diamond in the rough here. He has played on a state champ. Plays football, plays on a state champ, 2 times defending state champ in the top division for what I believe is the best football in all of the nation. Something that, and you're considering slow playing him? I don't believe that's the best thing. From Mr. Hookham, what's up, buddy? From Plano, Casey Thompson balled against Colorado. Said to have had the better arm touch on the ball. We'll see how spring ball goes. I agree 100%. I think we'll have to see what spring and maybe possibly fall ball goes. But one thing to talk about Card, when I was talking about him being a student of the game, and one of the reasons I was giving the lean towards him before the Alamo Bowl is because it is said that whenever the person in the drill is performing the reps, whenever they're making their reads, that he's doing ghost reads, doing ghost throws, behind him, checking the routes, and sometimes even making those throws, those ghost reads before the quarterback that is actually in the drill. So to me, that says that he's a student of the game, always thinking about the game, and absolutely loves the game of football and wants to be successful and wants to be the quarterback one. You can want and have and need all you want, but where you end up is going to be another thing. And to the fact that it's going to be Casey Thompson or Hudson Card is going to be one of the battles, and it could be the biggest topic of concern, obviously, for the Texas Longhorns and for much of the Big 12. If I was thinking, okay, Mr. Hooker takes panels. Do you think that they'll sign six offensive linemen this year? I would love to see 6 offensive linemen this year. Take them all. Casey is a dual threat. Is Card? No, Card isn't considered a dual threat quarterback, mainly because I don't think he has enough weight, enough size to be a dual threat quarterback. If he was to take those punishments, take all the licks that you would take to be a dual threat quarterback, I don't think he'd make it through the season, man, to be very, very honest with you. Maybe you're thinking that because he was a wide receiver his sophomore year, at Lake Travis there. He did have over 1,100 yards. So he obviously has a very fleet of foot. And could obviously move around a little bit, but he's not a dual threat guy. And to me, the main reason is because I don't think he can take the punishment. I don't think Casey is going to be more of a dual threat guy. And he is a little more bigger, a little more stout, can take that punishment a little bit more. LSP, Denali, horns up to you, sir. But how would have Casey played if defense could have planned for him? That's true. But also he didn't get those game time reps. He also wasn't the starter coming in. So I could not that I'm disagreeing with you, but I can rebut with you and say that he didn't get those starters reps coming in, did he? But as far as Colorado, that wasn't a top flight defense to begin with, but that was still a Division I college defense that he lit up and set a fire. And now you have to consider that he's had more time to work with these receivers. He's now on more time to work with these new receivers, these new coaching staff, see how they can gel, and the fact that we're all of us excited about what the new coaching staff is going to bring and what the product is going to look on the field, man. All right, 25 of y'all in here. Appreciate y'all in here. If you put your thumbs up, as I do have 12 thumbs up already. And if you do subscribe to the channel, man, as I do live streams, highlight videos, monologues, podcasts, whatever it pertains to football. If it's on YouTube, I do it, man. So give me a horns up, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel as I'm working hard for you on a Friday afternoon, man, on a Friday morning, man. So holla at you, boy. Any more questions for you guys got for me right now? Just been right an hour or so for you right now. Wow. One coach said Card runs a 4.5. I like to see it. That's real fast. But again, if you have that speed, you have to have the body to be able to back it up to be able to take the hits to absorb that punishment. That is something that I do believe as well. But I do know the fact that he was fast, and he obviously is a good athlete due to the fact that he was a starter at the top level in playing the best high school football in Texas. So Lake Travis. But as far as offensive linemen, I would love for us to have 6. I do believe as far as wide receivers, I'm predicting 4 to possibly 5. My big board as far as wide receivers would be my wish list. I guess obviously going to be Evan Stewart's my number one guy, so I was absolutely through the roof whenever we got him the night on another late night commitment that I did another late night live stream for y'all as well. He's number one on my board. Obviously Kevin Coleman is going to be on my board as well. Going from the St. Louis, Missouri area. 6 foot tall, 175 pounds, electric receiver, can take the top off the defense, which you 100% need. We already have our money in Winfield into the fold. Brennan Thompson as a athlete prospect in the class of 2022, going to be the fastest guy in the nation as an athlete prospect in my estimation. I can't name anybody faster. I know he's the fastest kid in the state of Texas as far as the prospect is concerned. Probably the fastest kid in the nation as far as major football prospect is concerned as well, as he runs sub 10.3 100 in the 100 meters, and he doubles it up with the 200 with an absolutely explosive time again. If you don't know who I'm talking about Brennan Thompson, he is going to be the athlete prospect from Spearman, Texas, as he's 5'11", right around 165 pounds, but man, he is bullet quick. He is also going to be on my wish list, and rounding out that wish list, and probably going to be the guy as far as a wide receiver that I do feel one of the most confident about, and he is linked up very hardcore with Malik Murphy, part of that California connection as well, and that is going to be that is going to be C.J. Williams, going to be from a modern day high school as well, as a very speedy receiver as well. Not quite the freakish athlete that Coleman is, but definitely from the possession side of the ball, runs very crisp, very clean routes and can always seem to be able to get open. And, of course, if you're a wide receiver, man, that's the name of the game, right? Catching the ball, getting open, and scoring touchdowns. We got to get 5+ elite linemen and 1 prospects you can build up. I guess you're talking about for the offensive linemen. You clearly want to have 6 offensive linemen. We need to replete that offensive line. Like I did state earlier, we only had 2 takes in the class of 2021. The only that's Max Merrill and Hayden Connor, and those will be 2 3-star takes. So you cannot whiff on the offensive line back-to-back years. We do have a couple of players that played well on the offensive line. Jake Majors played well at center, coming down the stretch for us, and whose name is Kurchek. I'm going to butcher his name, whatever the kid, the true freshman from South Lake Carroll, as well stepped up big for us. But we cannot whiff on the offensive line again, as we already we're blessed that Kerstetter came back for another year, for their medical year, their COVID year. So he came back because he broke his leg late last season. And as far as the NFL was never going to have a chance to really put any combine work, it was going to be a late round draft pick. So thankfully decided to come back to the Longhorns. So we're not quite that depleted on the offensive line. But we do need to take a big offensive line take. Maybe I was talking about on the field play. Maybe the offensive lineman comes with the offensive line play. Cam Dewberry has been trending just a little bit towards the University of Texas just a little bit more. Of course, if you don't know, I do believe Connor Robertson will probably get him, but we're talking about elite offensive linemen. So that we're going to get probably have the best chance, of landing DJ Campbell, the guard from Arlington Bowie. Absolutely just an amazing prospect. His sophomore film is just absolutely through the roof. So he just smashes, bowls through everyone, has the elite speed to get around the corner whenever he pulls out to lead block for these running backs. He shows elite speed. Like, honestly, I would love to see some track times on him. I would love to see some numbers on DJ Campbell. As when I was in high school, we used to have the big man relays at the end of the year. We used to have the fat man relays whenever the offensive and the defensive line, they would go after it, and they would go after each other, and to see who would pick the 4 fastest on the offensive and defensive line, and who would ever win the fat man relays. I would love to see DJ Campbell split on the fat man relays, as he's a great athlete prospect and probably a pretty solid lean towards the University of Texas. So if you're talking about getting major prospects on the offensive line, you're probably talking about getting DJ Campbell. Yeah, the big off Rice, the offensive lineman from Virginia. It'd be nice to go trophy hunting, man, without a doubt. And there's another offensive lineman from Virginia as well. I don't remember his name quite off the top of my head, but another guard prospect that is said to be linked up with Murphy is going to be Ernest Green II. I don't know if you know much about him. He's going to be a road grading, pulverizing guard. Not quite the speedster as a DJ Campbell, but from a guard perspective, from a guard position, absolutely mammoth prospect. He is in the top 50, top 60 range, I believe, according to 247 Sports. But if we get Green out of California, stir up that California connection. But Rice might be a bit of a haymaker, might just be a big game trophy, just possibly throw it out there. But hey, man, if you throw it on the wall enough time, you know what they say, it'll stick. So yeah, maybe Malik can flip a lot of people. You know what I mean? Hopefully Malik can bring a lot of people. As I'm liking this class as far as recruiting within and helping each other out. Jaden Blue is going to be the leader in the clubhouse as far as I'm concerned, as far as helping out his own cause and contributing to the class of 22. Malik Murphy, as on social media, Been putting positive vibes, getting positive feedback in return. Not quite the vocal leader that Jaden Blue is, but hey, who is? I don't know if you saw his if it was a tweet or on a live feed. I don't know. I'm not quite 100%. All I do is Twitter. So if it's not on Twitter, I'm not quite sure what it is. But basically saying we're getting everybody, his basically we're getting everybody speech, and which is great to see. I love seeing these guys being helping out their own cause, getting in these recruits helping out their own cause, because that helps out our cause and helps out their cause, and because everybody in here is going to be Horns fans, I would presume so. Horns up to Jaden Blue. If you don't know who that is, going to be a 4-star major running back. The class of 2022, just recently named the #1 running back in the class of 2022. So not listed as a 5-star prospect yet, but en route to be so by my estimation. But we're just going to talk about you right quick. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? There's 22 of you in here, 18 thumbs up. Very much appreciate that. In addition to the thumbs up, if you could subscribe to the Eyes on Texas channel, I'd appreciate that. Smash that red button and hit the bell so you know whenever I'm going to do one of these live streams or put out one of my videos, as I would appreciate that. So I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm just at 902 before I started this live stream. Hopefully going to pick up some more after this one, as I'm here for y'all on a late Friday night, early Friday morning. So holla at your boy for being there for you. So be there for me. 19 thumbs up right now. I pretty much appreciate that. I think Shark will get an O lineman out of the transfer portal after the spring game. So you think that he's trying to see what he has and where his prospects are at as far as what he has already on the 40 and see how everything shakes up, and then to see what he can get after that. That's pretty smart. There's probably going to be more prospects hitting the transfer portal. If you think about it, yeah, there's going to be some in here, and they're going to want to be in there. They want to land to their new destination early. But the ones that are going to be transferring in the spring are going to be the ones that get beat out, right? So if you're a senior or a junior, if you're an upperclassman and you see the writing on the wall, you're getting over-recruited. There's more talented players on campus, on practice, and you see it, and they're beating you on the depth chart, and you're not going to get much playing time. Those are the ones that hit the portal then. So those are the prospects that I see then. So after that spring game, after that spring time, after that spring practice, is another spike in transfer portal time. So you can see that for sure. But man, I'm just give me 1 second, guys. I gotta grab me some water. I got some water in the freezer. So holla at your boy. I'll be right back. Thank you for staying with me. All right, let's see what we got here. LSP, I say we win this season. We can flip a lot of recruits. On the field play is big. I definitely agree with you. I'm just thinking that's where we're going to have to get the offensive lineman. I believe that we're going to get the skill positions just strictly off of reputation with Sark and what he brings on the offensive side of the ball. I think PK will recruit well on the defensive side of the ball, and not necessarily him himself put in the leg work, but his actual scheme put in a lot of the leg work for us. If we have another mediocre season, we will have some decommits. That's right. You know what I mean? With these top prospects, these top tier guys. they will go somewhere else. And that is something that Evan Stewart alluded to whenever he committed. He said that he's still going to commit, but he still plans on visiting other places. You know what I mean? That's not something that you want to hear. You know, you don't want to tell your wife, you know, you're going to marry her, but, you know, you're still going to you're still going to date a girl every Wednesday just to see if you can possibly get something, a better prospect out of that. You don't want to hear that. And then we'll be standing there in our hand. That's right, man. That's not really what you want to have happen. If you need to back up this strong recruiting offseason with good field play, man. That's what you got to have. Otherwise, they will roll it. And Alabama, Georgia will have some offensive linemen leave because they recruit so many. I mean, dear Lord, they recruit so many strong 4-star and 5-star offensive linemen, so that some are sure to hit the portal. And obviously, Sark is going to have some already influence with them as far as his time spent there at the Crimson Tide. Now, losing LJ seems to not matter much now. It seems to not matter as much. To be quite honest with you, I agree. I'm excited to see what we put in, what we get out of Jonathan Brooks. I don't know if you saw a lot of his film. I don't know if you saw a lot of things that he did put on tape. He has a great rhythmic style of running. Talking about Jonathan Brooks, he is lacking that top end speed that you would like to have. From a running back, you would like to be able to take a house, be a home run hitter. That LJ Johnson, Samar Wheaton, and the boy that we do have on the 40, talking about Bijan Robinson, who is absolutely going to slay it for us this next season. You would like him to have that home run capability, but I do like what we do have in Jonathan Brooks. Obviously, as our only major running back to take in the class of 21, as whenever Texas was looking at LJ and looking at Samar, and both were leaning towards Texas, or both putting them in their top 10. I felt that we would get one of them. I knew that Texas would not miss number 1 and 2 backs in their own state, and they did. One went to Alabama, and then the one went to A&M, and thus we were holding our penis in our hand. But I would have to agree with you, Speedy German. It does seem to matter a little bit less now. The fact that we do have now in the class of 2022, Jaden Blue in the fold, and in the fold early is going to be obviously Ruben Owens. The whole reason why I did this live stream tonight. Mr. Horns, up to you, sir. I feel after this spring game there will be a great recruiting vibe that causes the orange tidal wave. Man, I hope so. Man, I hope that tidal wave continues and goes on into perpetuity. I want a massive O-line to grind our time out to keep the Big 12 offensive foes on the sideline. That's the only way to keep these Big 12 offenses from us scoring, and that is basically to keep them offenses on the field and control the clock, control the time, tire out the defense. And Coach Sark has explosive offense. He does throw the pill around a lot. But I will back up the statement again with saying that he has always had a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard back every single year that he has been an offensive coordinator, and every single year that he's been head coach. So, and I watched one of his clinics that he was explaining his offensive scheme, his offensive philosophy, and how they play football at the University of Alabama. Maybe some of you have seen that as well, but he does reiterate and does talk quite intensively about the fact of the physicality of the game, and that it is football, man. You do still have to strike your opponent. You do have to inflict your will on your opponent, and thus it's always going to be a physical game. So you do always gonna have to grind it out. So Brooks is talented, and he was the Dave Campbell Texas Player of the Year. So let's talk about his stats off the top of my head. He had just over 3,000 yards. He had 61 touchdowns. Yeah, rushing, and he played every single snap for Hallettsville, man. Talking about Jonathan Brooks, played a cornerback or a safety on defense, and was their returner, and he punted. I don't know if he kicked off. Yeah. But besides that, Jonathan Brooks did absolutely everything for Hallettsville as they lost in the state finals in an absolutely hard, gut-wrenching game in a fadeaway whenever Jonathan Brooks was playing defense. And man, he was probably his 47,000 snap that past season, this past high school football season, and just didn't have enough in the tank to make the play, and his team was defeated. But Dave Campbell's high school football player of the year, talking about Jonathan Brooks, the 3-4 star. He did end up a 4-star running back out of Hallettsville. So a lot of people are down on him early on in his recruiting, in his recruitment for being from such a small town. But as he did rise in the recruiting rankings late in his junior season and throughout his senior year, he put up his full repertoire of skills on display, and then thus getting Dave Campbell's offensive or player of the year in the state of Texas, man. So if Card gets QB1 and Casey decides to transfer, could Rosanna be a backup? Rosanna? I don't know who that is. Seems like everyone forgets he was a QB. Oh, I guess you meant to say Roshan. No, I think you're talking about Roshan. You're about Rojo. No, man. Roshan Johnson is a running back, man. I think that ship has sailed quite a long time ago. I don't think Roshan. No respect. I don't think Roshan Johnson could beat out Casey. Wright whenever he comes in. Could beat out the quarterback that we have coming in, Charles Wright from Austin High coming in. I think he has gone a bit more into running back road, just a little bit more. So I don't think Roshan Johnson has less than zero chance of being the quarterback. If anything would weird to happen. But great question. What's your thoughts on Denver Harris and Bryce Anderson from? Okay, from committing. Well, you're talking about Bryce Anderson. You're talking about the safety from Beaumont, I believe, and obviously Denver Harris. Denver Harris this past summer, it was very strong. Was always considered a Texas lean, but as Texas had that pitfall of an 8-3 season, and with our old coaching staff going out and our new coaching staff coming in, he still has a crystal ball in favor to him, but it is on its lowest leg. It is at a 1. I don't see him committing anytime soon. I do believe he does want to feel it out a little bit more. Of those two, I do see it was Bryce Anderson I do see Bryce Anderson committing before Denver Harris. So I wonder what Sarkeesian's philosophy is on grinding spring practice season compared to Herman's. We don't need those injuries. I know, and that was the thing with Herman. He would just practice them so hard. They would just get so beat up, be so worn out. Even this past year, like one of our linebackers got his shoulder messed up the whole entire season during practice. During blitz pickup, he didn't get blown up by the running back. Good job by the running back. You don't practice so hard and have to grind your guys so hard that he feels that he has to blow someone up in order to get his spot on the team to make the play, so he can carry the ball on the field as a running back. That's something else that I definitely agree with you 100% on that. Another is our strength and conditioning. Loved Yancey, you know what I mean? But as far as putting on more armor, putting on more body armor, all that really did seem is really make our guys more slow and make it a little more slow to the ball and slow reacting and losing their quick twitch uniqueness as an athlete, which is one of the main reasons of which we got them there to begin with. So I'm also interested in seeing what the new strength and conditioning coach brings. All right, great questions though, man. I'm probably not going to be here not much longer. I'm not going to be honest with you guys. I am hungry. I do need to get me something to eat. I know I talk about food. I know it's late, but man, I honestly really do eat a lot. I really feel y'all some more questions. I'll be here for about 10 more minutes. Just to let y'all know. But as far as information to give y'all, don't have much more. I was really just excited about Reuben Owens committing today. Talking about Ruben Owens, class of 23, 5-star. Will be a 5-star running back by my estimation, being the number 1 running back, number 2 running back in that class, and the number 1 running back in the state of Texas. From El Campo, Texas, which is going to be southwest of the Houston area. So it's going to be in between Houston and San Antonio right there, along the Texas coastline right there. Has played a part of a multi-black system his whole entire time while playing high school. Freshman season, he only had 812 yards, something right around there, as he was in a run-heavy offense where they did have multiple running backs. As a sophomore this past season, he had 140 rushing attempts, as he had 511 rushing yards for 22 touchdowns. He did catch the ball just 5 times for 100 yards, for 100 and change. He didn't have that one rushing reception, but this is really carry the meal, carry the load, the workload kind of sort of run. As he's 5'11", 6 foot tall already, and in between that 185-pound range. And man, if you're lightning quick, you can move on your feet, and you're 185, 190 pounds at that age, you are going to be a big kid. He is going to be a thumper as a running back with elite skills, with elite athleticism. So that is why he is going to be a unique running back, and that's why he's so highly touted as of right now as a class of 2023 guy. And I thought he was leaning towards Oklahoma's whole entire recruitment. The fact that what did surprise me more was the fact that he committed to the University of Texas than he committed at all. I did feel that this prospect was going to be one that was to commit earlier rather than later. But I did think that it was going to be to the University of Oklahoma. And it was going to be to running backs coach DeMarco Murray. But one of the reasons why he stayed before choosing Texas is that relationship with DeMarco Murray seemed to reach its end. It didn't really seem to progress any further. Coach Sarkeesian and the offensive staff on the University of Texas started getting to his ear, obviously liking how he could possibly fit into this offensive style and this offensive scheme and this offensive philosophy. As at the University of Texas, now we're recruiting running backs very solid, very hardcore. Let's talk about Bijan Robinson, 5-star. We had Jaden Blue from Klein in the Houston area, who was just now recently named the number 1 running back in the class of 22, going to be a 5-star as well. Now we have Ruben Owens in the mix. So these guys are going to be University of Alabama. They had 4 and 5 stars waiting to their sophomore and into their junior years before they really started making more of an impact. So are they going to carry the mail? Is it going to be more of a 3-headed monster, or are we going to continue to always have a 1,000-yard rusher on every single year that Coach Sarkeesian is a coach? Does anyone know what the seating cap on our stadium will be after construction? No, but I'm tired of people commenting on. Well, I'm not going to say it. So, no, I don't know. To be honest with you, so I'm not going to say what I think. I know it's going to be awesome and highly impressive whenever they start coming out under the new horn, and whenever they have the smoke, and whenever they have the white smoke on a college day, and that's going to bring a lot of attention. That's going to be badass to watch. And whenever it's on a game day, and to watch the kids run through that and come down that's going to be real cool. So that's good to look forward to. But I talked about the stadium. Did I read today that Texas will have all of its will have full attendance though in the 2021 season? Did I read that they did announce that today? So there will no longer be any kind of sort of percentage as far as the number of fans who are going to be allowed in the stands. All right, Michaela Lyons, what's up? Horns up to you. Who is your must-get recruit, man? If you're talking about must-get recruits, I'm going to say Burnett's going to be talking about in the class of 22. I am going to say because he of position and because it is a position of need and this person is so highly talented and he's in state, I'm going to say it is the aforementioned DJ Campbell is going to be my must-get candidate for a recruit in the class of 22. For all those reasons I mentioned, he is an offensive lineman that is obviously what we've mentioned over and over and over. And thank you for that because it shows that you are smart and educated football fans of the University of Texas because you know what our wants and our needs are. Y'all just been every time I mention anything else, y'all say, well, what about offensive lineman? I mentioned anything else, y'all said, well, what about offensive lineman? When's the next offensive lineman to get? Who's our next offensive lineman to commit? That's the reason why it's DJ Campbell. And the reason why he is from Texas. He has been a Texas lean this for such a long time, and it would be another stain, such as we lost with Brockermeyers. It'd be a big stain to lose DJ Campbell because he has been viewed as a Texas walk, whatever, for such a long time. To lose that type of recruit would be looked down upon, and that also factors into it. That he's just a badass that we need grinding out, road grading, paving the ways for our running backs and keeping our offense and keeping our quarterbacks upright. So to answer the question, my must-get recruit for the class of 22 is DJ Campbell. That's a great answer, man. Is our biggest stadium in Texas, and it'll be bigger than Kyle Field. Well, obviously, it's going to be bigger and better than Kyle Field, right? I want Campbell and Denver Harris personally. So Denver Harris is, I think Denver Harris is ranked a little high. I'm not going to lie. I don't think Denver Harris is one of the top best 10 football players in the class of 22. I'm not saying he's not. I would put him closer to maybe like the mid-40s. Denver Harris. Yeah. I agree with Jordan. Who is Jordan Hudson? A really good wide receiver. Yeah, that's who Jordan Hudson is. All right, well, let's just look up Jordan Hudson for the people at home right quick. Jordan Hudson. Is Oklahoma. He's a big, thick kid, 6'1", 180 pounds. You're talking about him being close to flipping. Didn't he put the horns down and on one of his pictures talking about Jordan Hudson? So I haven't heard him close to flipping, to be honest with you. All right. But my number one guy is definitely DJ Campbell as far as a must get. My number one receiver on the board was is now committed to the University of Texas Longhorns. That was definitely going to be Evan Stewart. Most people have Caleb Burton above him, but to me, he's not on our board. So Grubhub. So I'm not really listed as I don't really rank Caleb Burton is what I'm trying to say is he's not on our board. He's not someone who's interested in the University of Texas, so I don't really put a lot of thought into him. Great prospect, but I'm not really interested in the University of Texas. So this being a pro-Texas program, I don't spend a lot of time talking about it. Things have now changed because of Sark and Coleman, without a doubt. Sark, everybody saw what D6 did for Alabama this past season, man. He won the Heisman Trophy for the first time in 30 years from the wide receiver position, man. Everybody saw him. It was absolutely explosive. Everybody knew where the ball was going. Everybody knew who the trendsetter was. They had Najee Harris. They had Mac Jones that could put the ball on a dime, but he was obviously well protected the whole entire year and did have the benefit of having that running threat at all time. But everybody knew who was the dynamic playmaker for the University of Alabama, the one who made the difference. They still gave him the ball. They still could feed him the ball. He already did have 12 touches for 212 yards and 3 TDs in the national championship game before he went out, whenever they were straight smoking the Buckeyes. So everybody knew that they had the ball, and that's the reason why we're getting these big-time wide receivers to commit early and often, and we will have the best wide receiver class, in my opinion, without a doubt. You think Caleb Burton is overrated? We need another running back in 22. So talking about running backs into the class of 22, I really want us to continue to push for Zach Evans. He's going to be a bit of a multifunctional back. That's really what I like about him, because we already have the guy that really wants to carry the mail, right? We already have our big-time solid commit from Jaden Blue, who is going to be our lead back in our running back class, right? So you want to get someone to pair up with him to that matches up well in your scheme, but won't scare him off as a recruit, because you don't want to piss off our lead dog. So, and I believe that person is Zach Evans. He's going to be 5'9", 5'10". He is going to be more of a multifunctional back. He can line up in the slot is really what I'm getting to. So he's going to be the guy, in my personal opinion, who would fit into the offense, getting maybe 5 to 6 regular running carries out of the backfield. Might get a jet sweep or two. Might get a ball out of the backfield, and might get a couple of receptions out of the slot. So another running back in the class of 22 that I like is Zach Evans. I don't know who you're talking about with the linebacker from who just hit the transfer. You like Miller and Evans. Miller, I haven't studied as much film on him as far as like running backs. I really like Zach Evans and Jaden Blue were the ones that I was focused on. So, like you're saying, Miller wants to be here and loves us. So Jadarian Miller, that's his name, right? Yeah. All right, but there is 19 of y'all in here. Appreciate you giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as if you have not, because if you are watching this live stream, if you're part of it right now, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Going to be past almost 2 o'clock in the morning here in Central. And if you're already watching it, you know I'm committed, so give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. As I'm here for you, you should be here for me. And let's keep it rolling, because I need to get to 1,000 subs, and I'm very close to doing so, man. So I need that support, please. All right. I know he loves us a lot. He's really talented. I can't say no to that guy. Derek Ben David has been talking. Any more questions for me, guys? At the moment, appreciate everybody being in here tonight, man. Very cool, very good stuff. I'm getting hungry, and y'all just don't want to sit here and watch me eat, man. I can tell you that much. All right. That's good. All right. I'm just going to give y'all just another minute, another 2-3 minutes just to figure out if you have any more questions possibly for me. Oh, man. Man, it's late, guys. I appreciate everybody being in here. I'm just going to give a quick recap of the broadcast here. Appreciate everybody being here. Ruben Owens excited that he's going to be a part of, hopefully going to stick and part of being the class of 2023. I do know that is obviously going to be a long time away as he just played a sophomore ball. But again, as I did reinstate, I thought he would commit earlier. I was just really surprised that he was going to be the Texas Longhorns, as he was going to be leaned to the Sooners for majority of all the time that I've been reading about, talking about Ruben Owens. He has been linked up with the Sooners. But another big-time running back for the Texas Longhorns as Coach Sark attack is attacking in the recruiting and now has penetrated into the class of 2023. So talking about that is awesome. That is major. But I'm about to wrap it up here, man. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm reminding you to subscribe to the channel, please. If there's anybody in here that is 16 of you in here, all of y'all better be subscribers to the Eyes on Texas channel. If there's anybody in here that is not giving me a thumbs up, you please give me the opportunity right now, as that helps out with the algorithm as well. Appreciate that. But it's your boy AK here signing out, reminding everybody to keep their head in the swivel. Their eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up.